And we are live. Hi guys, how's it going? Good to see you. Can we have some love if you are joining us? I've missed you guys. It's been 24 hours, but I'm excited. I've got lots to share with you guys today. So can you see on the screen I've gotten, I wrote there, I was in my kitchen cleaning when I suddenly realized, oh my God, I'm late for Facebook. And guys, I laughed today because I was busy preparing for this Facebook Live and I started getting all these notifications. Karina's on Facebook, Helena's on Facebook, Linda's doing her Facebook Live, and everyone is doing their Facebook Lives at the last minute. But guys, well done. Well done for doing your Facebook Lives and getting them in on time. So I hope that you are not cooking, but you are here and you are watching and you're excited. Tell me, give me some loves if you are excited, guys. What were you doing, by the way, out of interest, before the Facebook Live? Were you having your glass of wine? Were you in the kitchen? Were you doing your Facebook Live? What were you up to? Out of interest. All right, guys. So we're going to do a little bit of a check-in. I'm speaking a little bit quicker today. I'm trying to be a little bit clearer because I have a surprise for you in about 2.5 minutes, okay? We're going to do a little bit of a check-in because I want to hear from you what your process has been over the last 24 hours. It's a little bit small on the screen, but if you downloaded your workbook, you'll see that the questions are in the workbook. Do you guys love the workbook? Can I have some yes? Can I have some yeses? I like that positive reinforcement, guys. In the workbook, it talks about how when you do a live, the simple act of doing a live, the process before, during, and after is that process of reflection. And it teaches you something about yourself. Those of you who haven't done your Facebook Lives yet, I see you, I honor you, I know you're going through a process, but I'd love to hear, like, where are you at? How are you feeling? Are they getting easier? Are you still scared? Like, share with us, like, what's the process like? And I'm going to give you about 30 seconds because I want to hear from you. I'm drinking my water for an effect so that I pause and give you some time. You've got another 20 seconds to write down so that I can check on the Facebook screen what's going on. Let's see, trying to organize. Yes, Dee Dee. I know it's a little bit tough. We're all sending you lots and lots of love in the UK, aren't we, guys? Can you send some love to Dee Dee? I know you were doing your Facebook Live, Karina. All right, so what's the process like for you guys? I want to see those comments. Are you enjoying the Facebook Lives? Are you struggling with the Facebook Lives? How's it going for you? So what I'd also like to hear from you is I'd like to hear about why you think it's important for us to communicate effectively on Facebook, on video. Why is it that we need to have a strategy that makes us communicate in an effective way? By the way, yes, I do have an album and I will be launching it soon. And if you want to, put it in the comments, you want a signed autograph of my album. Okay, I shared it with Linda. You guys were really happy with my singing yesterday. Yeah, I should become a singer, I know. So if you want an autograph, a signed autograph of my album, put it on there. So today what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be having a look at effective communication. All right. In today's Zoom, I've got a bit of a surprise for you. We're going to be talking about how to communicate effectively on video, and specifically 3 things. We're going to be looking at focusing on mechanics. We're going to look at delivery, and we're going to look at the clarity of message. Now, I know, ladies, I heard from you. Yesterday, we were talking about how, you know, I always meet attractive men, and you were saying that what you wanted is you wanted to meet some good-looking men as well. So actually, I have a surprise for you. Guys, I'd like you to meet Rob Boland. You want to say hi, Rob? This is the attraction man that I'm bringing onto the Facebook Live for you guys today. Hey, Rob, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. I did not know that I was going to be, advertised in that way, but I'm glad to meet everyone and looking forward to going over a few things today. So, Connie, we're going to go through a couple of topics. I'm here for the next 20 minutes. I can answer some questions, but we'll talk about, how to communicate effectively, how to deliver your message with the best results.
You're amazing. Look at that, guys. You can see why I've asked Rob to come in. Rob, you're amazing. You're a CEO of Bunch. Bunch is an enterprise. You're based in NYC and you do video communication. You have a video application for companies and you're going to share a little bit about that. So you're the expert. And ladies, unfortunately, he's not single. He's happily married. So I'm sorry. Okay. But he's not just a pretty face.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You're busy.
Smart too. So I'm a CEO of Bunch Enterprise here in New York City. We serve the world's biggest companies for video applications, and really we give all of our users communication tools so that they can work more efficiently, but more effectively as well. So in today's world, you have a lot more video content, but a lot less time to consume it. And that is the number one problem. So we have some applications that address that, and we use some artificial intelligence and some machine learning and things like that to make it faster. But it's really, it does come down to the actual content. So I think we're going to talk about a few things today. One, we're going to talk about mechanics, which, Connie, do you want me to go ahead and jump into that?
Yeah, let's jump in because mechanics is the most important thing. We were talking about it earlier, and we've all been on Zoom calls, and we've all seen videos where actually the lighting is terrible. The way that they're positioning the mic, the sound. Share with us. We are open to learning from you. What are the
I think there's some very basic things that you can do. I'm obviously in a studio with a microphone. I've got some lights in front of me, so you'll get some great results that way. But today's technology, both your phone and your laptop, whether it be an Apple or a Windows computer, they have great technology. Their cameras are phenomenal. And all you have to do is a few simple things. So first of all, if you're speaking at your laptop or your notebook computer, put it on a box or raise it up to eye level. So you should be looking directly into the camera like I am doing now. The way that most laptops are engineered is they're made for typing and looking down. So if it's on your countertop in your kitchen and you're looking down at it, it's kind of looking up your nose at a pretty bad angle. So number one rule, raise your laptop up so you're looking directly at it, or your phone. There's a million little widgets that you can buy on the internet today, Amazon or what have you, that are either like a stand for your phone or a stand for your computer. The second thing is make sure that the light source is in front of you. Most people don't do this. They sit in front of a window and then they shoot their laptop going at them, but the light is behind them so their video looks dark. You want to be looking at the light source and have a solid surface behind you. So it doesn't always have to be a blank wall or a backdrop or something that's like a white wall. It can be something like a bookshelf or a bookcase or something that has things in the background that makes it interesting for viewers to look at. I like this. I like having a blank background so you can see hand movements and you can focus on the speaker. But as long as there's not light shining into the camera. And the third most important thing is audio. So the best audio that you can get is a headset, right? You can put a headset on, a microphone. It makes it look like you work in a customer service place or something. It doesn't look very good. Second thing that you can do, you can have AirPods in or earphones, right? Those isolate the sound and give you a great microphone that you can speak out of. Or you can use your laptop speaker and microphone, but try to be in a quiet place. So the best thing that you can do is be in a quiet place doesn't have a big echo. The second best thing you do is put a headset or earpods in to give you the best audio possible. One, two, three.
Yeah, I have a couple of follow-up questions, and I know you watching the Facebook Live. Please put all your comments in the chat, and I can ask Rob as well. Does it really matter what mic we use? You mentioned, does it matter whether you're in terms of positioning? Like, should I have my AirPods in? Like, does it matter the quality? Do I go onto Amazon? Do I need to spend 20, or, you know, do I have to spend 100? Like, talk about the quality of the mic.
I think that you're basically, you're going to get the biggest improvement if you use a pair of earpods versus the laptop speaker and microphone, depending on what laptop you have. You know, if you have a really good laptop, like a MacBook Pro or something, you get better sound. Here's the trick. If you're typing on the laptop or you're doing anything around your computer that would make noise, like your hand hitting the counter or a pen or pencil or typing, that's bad because other people on the other end can hear you typing. So I don't think you have to go shop for super expensive earphones or a microphone or a headset, but something that's good. Some, you know, anywhere from $40 to $65 or $100 is probably perfect. I think AirPods are around that price. If you use the ones that have cables that come with your phone, okay, it's kind of accepted now where you see people on even interviews on TV and the news where they have the white earpieces in. So it's okay to use the ones that came with your phone too. You will always get better results when you use a headset.
Thanks, that's great. Thank you, Rob. And what about recording on the phone or the laptop? Someone was asking me about that. Is it better to use my phone or my laptop? Again, it depends on quality, right?
You know what? Phones are really good now, and laptops are great too. It's your choice. If you're going to be presenting material, obviously use your laptop because you have better tools for that. You can share your screen, you can share an application, you can have your notes and your slides with you. But if it's a video conference only and you have to talk, you know, back and forth just on video, phones are great. They really are. However, if you're going to use your phone, get one of those selfie stick tripods where you put it on a table and it looks at you eye level. Again, you can't do a video conference if your phone is laying flat on the table looking at the sky, or you're trying to balance it on some wine glass because you're at a cafe in Paris, Connie. But you know,
it was one time, Rob, one
right.
time I did that.
So the same rules apply, right? Get the camera eye level, get it up on either a tripod or a stand that's stable, and make sure the light source is in front of you. Doesn't matter. Phones are computers too now. It's 2020.
That's amazing. Thanks, Rob. Let's jump to the second question, which is delivery. How do I effectively deliver a message?
Right. So the key here is to keep it crisp and to keep it quick, but organize your thoughts. And I typically try to say 1, 2, 3, right? The first point we made in this conversation was the mechanics. I had 1, 2, and 3 points. It makes it easier for your listeners to remember 1, 2, and 3, where you're not rambling on to like a list of 10. So organize your thoughts into some key components. And 1, they have to be organized. 2, they have to be short enough to be explained without spending too much time. And 3, the content has to be engaging. So when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking with some kind of passion. I'm speaking with some interest in what I'm doing, and I'm using hand gestures to pull you in so you can pay attention to me, right? I can call attention to something and say, hey, this is important, or I have an idea, or this is something we need to pay attention to. It is very easy to drift off during a Zoom call or watching a live broadcast. It's just really easy because you're communicating over a mechanism here that's 2D, right? You're not in the room with me. So it's easy to kind of disconnect. It's also a lot of work on your mind. So your brain has to process a lot of information to have this call, right? I have to basically look at the camera. I have to pay attention to someone that's really in a computer screen. It's a lot of information. So 1, 2, 3, organize, right? Get engaging content and be engaging yourself, right? How to speak with some passion and deliver that message.
So a couple of follow-up questions. Can we have some love in the Facebook group if you're enjoying what Rob is saying? Let's give him some love. If you have any questions, he's here for another 10 minutes or so. So we want to really use his wealth of knowledge. Thank you again, Rob, for being for coming with us. And sorry for the introduction, but you're good looking. We have to face the facts, right? And it's how I engage my audience.
Yeah, it's great. You're doing a great job. I'm interested. I'm here for it.
I'll tell you one day about the mug. About the mug and anyway, that's a different story. I have a very, very special mug. Okay, so what I'd love to hear from you is, one of the questions that we got was, they find it really difficult to communicate on video because, like you said, you prefer having that feedback from people in a one-on-one situation. How do you do that? Is it just, concentrating? Like, what tip could you give us on how to make that engaging?
So again, three things. I think number one of the most important things you have to do when you're trying to engage with people over video is look at the camera. It is a very difficult thing to do. Sometimes you can take a Post-it note or a sticky note, one of those little yellow pieces of paper that stick, and stick it right where your camera is and put a smiley face on it and be like, that's the person I'm talking to. Because when you have a screen that has a lot of people, like typically Zoom calls, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, you have it looks like the Brady Bunch, if you're familiar with that American TV show from the 60s or 70s something. They have all these people and talking heads. It's kind of hard to pay attention. And what you need to pay attention to is the camera, because here's the deal. They're seeing what comes out of the back of the camera. So number one, pay attention to the camera. Number two, we've already fixed that audio problem in the mechanics, right? So people can hear you, but be crisp and pause. We talk about this all the time. You got to stop talking at a point. So make your point. So your points are organized in 1, 2, and 3. Make your point and stop. Because one of the challenges with the Zoom calls or any kind of, video chat is that you have this, when it's live, you have this talking over effect where it's like you continue to talk and then the other person wants to say something and then it just sounds confusing. It's like an argument on the news. So once you make your point, stop. And the third and final kind of thing when you want to speak effectively on video is to engage your audience. So don't just do a presentation and then ask questions at the end, right? Just like you're doing earlier, like you're constantly going back to the audience to ask them a question, ask them what they think. If your audience is engaged, they'll give you feedback and they'll stay in the conversation with you. It makes it much better.
If I can ask you a question on engagement, because this is something really that's interesting. You are fantastic with your hand gestures, and I feel like you're involving the audience. Are you using specific hand gestures? Like I see you pointing, I see you, moving your hands. What's too much? Is there a balance?
I'm sure there's a way that you could do too much, right? So that's a good question, right? I'm sure there's a way that you could do too much. So one of the things that I spent 10, 15 years as a professional salesperson, and I think that one of the things that salespeople have as an advantage is that they have a natural way to communicate. They're natural talkers, they're naturally comfortable in front of people, and they know how to get into the situation and communicate. Not everyone is a salesperson though, right? Not everyone is, has a career in sales, but everyone actually has to get on Zoom calls and do Zoom meetings now and communicate effectively. So are there specific hand gestures or ways to communicate what you want to call? I don't think so. I mean, I think that you need to use them sometimes to draw attention and pull people in. So the obvious one, if you want to speak or you have an idea, you put your hand up, right? Oh, pay attention to me, right? I'm calling something out. I think another one is when you want people to look at you or pay attention is to draw things towards the center of the frame. If you need to really call attention, then you can say, oh, hold on, let's stop. Pay attention, I have a point. Here we are, and then deliver your point. So there's some basics there, but you use them typically when you speak normally. If you're going out to dinner and you sit down with your friends, you're going to use your hands when you talk, right? You're going to say like, oh, this was crazy. It was a crazy day, right? You're going to do these kinds of gestures. Do the same thing that you would do on a Zoom call as you would in real life, because we're trying to recreate that right now because we can't meet in person.
Can we have some love for Rob, please? Isn't he amazing? Can I see some comments? See what I'm trying to do as I'm trying to engage. See what I do, Rob, is I always tell my audience what I'm doing. So I'm doing it and then telling them the strategy as well. So can we have some love for Rob, please? Because we want him back. Do we want Rob back? You know, it's not, I don't just want to
Right,
be
I'll come
me.
back every week. This TV show makes me feel amazing. So of course I'll come back all the time.
I love it. I want to talk a little bit about being genuine, because you were
Right.
saying how, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you're using your hands. And a question I always get asked is, how do I be genuine? How do I be authentic on camera?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the right answer to that question is to just be yourself and try to take it a little less seriously. Now, look, if you're on a serious Zoom call, then you probably need to be a little bit more formal. But once you get the mechanics down to where your video looks good, your audio is good, your points are organized, your lighting is good, okay, you can deliver a message. Be human about it, because you're meeting with other people. You're not just talking to a computer, right? So I think some of the things that I've done before, when you start off a meeting, be human, right? You can say some embarrassing story that happened to you today, or what happened when you're on your way to work, or when you're on the way to the grocery store, you got lost, you forgot your umbrella. That was always one that if it was raining when I went to a meeting, I'd be like, yeah, I lost my umbrella, I had to buy a new one. That's happened to everybody, right? It instantly makes you seem like a more likable, more normal person. You want to seem less like a figurehead that's speaking to everyone, and more just like a colleague that's in the room. So one is to just have a story, tell something that's interesting, or tell something that's embarrassing, humanize yourself. The second one is to, I say this all the time, shorten your content down, shorten it down. People present far too long. The meetings time slots are 30 minutes or an hour. In 30 minutes, geez, we can cover a lot of content. 1 minute of video is like 7 pages of the written word. So you can deliver a lot of ideas quickly, and it's more about the experience and the people that you're with rather than the time that you spend. So because people don't remember everything. So shorten down your stuff and humanize yourself a little bit more.
One last question from me, and then
Sure.
I'm going to go to the Facebook group, because I know you need to leave in 5. If you have any questions, guys, you've got 5 minutes. You need to put them in the comment section now before he runs off. I love what you said about experience, because I mean, you know me now for a while, and you know that when I do lives and videos, you're like, okay, Connie, shorten your message. I'm telling lots of stories, and by the end of it, maybe I've said like 3 points, right? So how do we balance storytelling and having short videos? Because it's now like 30-second videos, 1 minute, 3 minutes, too long. I'm like, how can I say all that I have to say in 3 minutes?
Well, I think you have to put out a lot of content. So one of the biggest things that you can do here is, yes, your videos should be short. Yes, they should be organized. And then you just put out follow-on videos, right? So if you say these are 3 points of effective communications, the next one is a deep dive of the first point. Then the one after that is a deep dive of the second point. The one after that is a deep dive to the third point. This is totally possible given all the technology today, whether it be YouTube, whether it be your own website, you can link videos together. So that means when someone has 30 seconds, they watch that first video. Someone has another 30 seconds, they can watch that second video. Sometimes we do this, we binge watch things on Netflix, right? You just watch the whole series in one night, and that's fine. But I think breaking up your content is a big piece. The second piece is, and I think, I probably should have put this in the first response. There, I'm humanizing myself. I made a mistake on this live broadcast. But putting things into context is like, and here's my hand gesture for putting things into context. Like overall, the whole reason why we're here is to help you speak better and deliver your information better to your audience. One of the ways to do that in a meeting, whether it be a Zoom meeting or like an in-person meeting, is a recap. And salespeople call this closing, right? And they always talk about closing. But what you're doing is saying, this is why we're here. Do you want to move forward? Do you want to know more? This is why we met today. These are the topics that we covered. This is why they're important. So before the end of this live broadcast, you say, hey, here were the points we went over, 1, 2, 3. Hope you found them helpful. For more information, come back, et cetera, et cetera. Close out and give some context. It helps people get clarity on the things they just heard, because basically what happened is you come into a meeting, everyone gets introduced, then you throw some content at them. You say like, here's a bunch of information, and then meeting's over. And then you're like, okay, what happened? So at the end, you say, hey, we introduced you to all these people. This is the things we talked about. This is why it was important. And for more, come back later.
We have to get you back on because I have so many questions, but we have 2 from the audience, and I'm not happy with Mamadou because this is his first comment. He's like, he's like, Rob is awesome, and he's never said that about me. So I'm feeling a little bit gel. Okay.
I like this guy already.
So he's talking about, and then I see we have a question from Linda. Mamadou says, do we have to use humor in our Facebook Live? So I think this is about like, do I have to pretend, or do we have to use humor? Where's the balance between being human, like humor, and just kind of speaking to the point?
Oh, I mean, I think that if you're a funny person, or you like humor, or this is something that, you know, you gravitate towards, great, use it. I think this is something that comes from some dated advice. I think a lot of times people say, when you start a speech, you tell a joke to break the ice. Well, I mean, sometimes it sets a different tone. Like it may be a speech, or it may be something you're trying to deliver that's serious, and you don't need to tell a joke at the beginning of it to break the ice. There's a lot of different ways to engage your audiences. We went through a couple of them here today. I think we could do a whole episode on just things to engage your audience with for the types of speaking that you're doing. So it's not always a joke. I don't think you have to always start with humor.
So if you want us to, you know, if you want Rob back, if you want to learn more from him, say in the comments, I want you to write these exact words. I want more Rob. I want more Rob in the comments, so I know to bring Rob back.
Hey, there's enough of me to go around. It's enough of me to go around. But I think that's a really good topic to talk about, how we break the ice, both beginning in a conversation and then in the middle of a conversation. And I'll leave you guys with this, because I'm about to hop into another meeting that I have to go to. One of the most important things that you can do before you get on your next Zoom meeting or what have you, if you remember anything from this webcast, put your phone on silent. I have seen so many times, I've been in Zoom calls where people's phones go off and their speakers ring and it's super loud and the computer's beeping, and put everything on silent, because if you can do all of these things we just talked about, right? You can have great mechanics, great lighting, great audio, great notes, and great presentation. If your entire room is beeping and everything is ringing, it's all lost. Put your phone on silent. But Connie, I will see you later today. It was great to be a guest on your show, and stay tuned. We'll have some more, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much, Rob. A big kiss from all of us. Cheers, cheers.
Bye.
See you. Bye. More. Robert is great. Awesome. I want more. Oh my God, he's amazing. Isn't he amazing? I'm absolutely delighted to be surrounded by some amazing people. So we'll definitely bring more of Rob on. I know, Linda, you had a question, and I'll double check with I can't see. It was about Zoom. Oh, it's gone. I need to read the questions quick. Where do you look? Now, I think this goes to what I would recommend is that when you're making a point, you look to the camera lens, right? When you're making a point, you imagine that the lens is the eye of the audience. So I'm looking into the camera lens now, and the energy that I'm sending to you is, this is the point that I'm trying to make. So you're using maybe your hand gestures to make that point, but you're also using your eyes to imagine that you're looking and you're speaking into their eyes. When you're on a Zoom call, though, it's almost like if I'm on stage, this is what I do. If I'm on stage, I'm using my hand and I'm pointing to the furthest part of the audience, okay, to include them. And I'm pointing to the furthest part on the right-hand side to include them. And what I'm doing is I'm moving my eyes in a triangle. So I'm moving from stage left, stage right, down to the middle. Because if I'm using my eye like that, it seems like I'm looking at all people. Slightly different on Zoom, because if I'm going like this, then it looks different. So instead of worrying about where you're looking, what I would do is I would call to the people by name. So I would do like Mamadou, Karina, Helena, Linda, Valbona, I would call out Laura. I see, Tove, all these people who have sent some love and some likes. Thank you. Can we have some loves? Are you still watching? Or have you gone to cook the dinner? Does that answer your question, Linda? Yeah? Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions from you guys today? I'll give you a moment to think about it. Okay, whilst I'm waiting for the questions, what I would like you to do, thanks Linda, I see that. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write down 3 points that you found valuable. You thought to yourself, okay, I'm going to be trying this now. I know you probably want to re-listen to this live a few times. I'm just stopping the recording because I don't think Rob wants all of this. I'm going to send him the video. But let me, no, I don't need to. So I'd like you to write down in the comments 3 points that you found valuable. Minimum of 3. I'm sure there was like 10. I'm sure there were like millions. But 3 points that you thought were really, really valuable that you're going to be using moving forward. Have a think. Take the time now to process, writing down in the comments. Laura, passion in communicating, like how you're communicating. You see, the thing I love about Rob is you can see he has sales experience. He is charismatic. He's speaking passionately, but he's also speaking clearly, which is awesome. He's balancing the masculine. He's balancing the feminine. So, and the reason why he is able to do this is because he has so much experience. This is what he does in his career. He has this amazing app, and I'm going to see if I can collaborate with him on it and bring it in for the academy, because it's basically what you're doing is you're communicating via video to people within your organization. So you're not waiting to do like send a Zoom link, and you don't have to, send messages and WhatsApps or emails. Everything is just done seamlessly through the channels within the app. And it's freaking amazing, right? So this is what he does. This is what his experience is. Reason why I'm saying this to you is because the more you practice something, if you have an intention, right? This Facebook Live that I'm going to do today for today's challenge, your challenge, guys, is to do a Facebook Live on 3 strategies and tell me what the strategies are and why you've decided to choose them, and to practice the strategies within the video. So, for example, Laura, you've got passion, being human, and keep it short. Just say, hi, you can start with an anecdote if you want. I'm going to start with a story. And you tell an embarrassing story. All right, that was number 1. I wanted to start with an embarrassing story. That's what I'm starting with. Number 2 is passion. I want to share my passion. I'm wearing pink because this is the expression of me. I'm very passionate about my cat and about my dragons, and you're bringing in your passions, or you're speaking with passions. And you explain, kind of like what I do. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to pause and wait for you to comment by drinking some water. Pausing is a good way to get people to think, because Rob shared a lot of information, right? We want to pause in between. Keep it short. Yes. I see you nodding your heads at me. Keep it short, Connie. Yeah, and I loved what he said, and this is what I'm going to be implementing in my social media, is I have a lot of content. I want to share it all, but what you can do is you choose 3 points, and then what you do is 3 points become 5 videos, you know, because you've got 3 points in one, then you could delve deeper in 3 points into the 1, and into the 2, into the 3. And then you talk about the fact that you're doing a video on the 3 points. You know, et voila, there's different things. Awesome. Look in the camera, keynotes, make your point. Josephine, some great points. Mamadou, awesome to see you as well. Okay, awesome, guys. So today was a little bit shorter because the point is that you don't need to be here for an hour. Short, succinct, to the point, and you got a lot of information. Okay, let me remind you what your challenge is. Let me share the screen so that you can write it down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Zoom meeting. All right. So log into the Zoom meeting, so long. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Share. Here we go. Can I have a yes? I accept the challenge in the Facebook comment, please. Yes. Can I have a yes if you are accepting the challenge, even if you're watching on the replay? Can I have a yes? Yes. Can I have a whoop, whoop? Can I have a na, 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 na? Anyway. Can I have a yes in the comments if you're wanting to accept the challenge? What is the challenge? You're choosing 3 techniques that you're going to action. In the Facebook Live, you talk about which technique you choose, anyway, grammar, and why you thought it was important to start with these particular ones. So why it was important for you to be authentic, why it was important for you to be short, okay? Because when you speak it integrates. Guys, these Facebook Lives are really important if it is your wish and will to do them, because action tells the unconscious mind that this is the new way that you're wanting to be. When you action the Facebook Live, you're saying, now I'm wanting to integrate these techniques into my way of being. If you're not actioning, you will continue to, if you're not actioning the new, you will continue to action the old ways of being. You with me? Can I have some love? Yeah? Can I have some love? Awesome. Guys, that was our Facebook Live today, day 3, talking about how to communicate effectively with the handsome, fabulous Rob Berlin. And I have another surprise for you. I have a surprise for you tomorrow, and I have a surprise for you on Friday as well. Guys, this course is just getting more and more amazing. Make sure you join us tomorrow. We're going to be talking about creating the experience of you. Okay, and then Friday, we're tying it all together. I also have another surprise for you. I'm collaborating with someone, and what we're going to be doing is creating a new challenge where what we're going to do is to create. He is an experienced social media marketing expert. He's experienced as an SEO in marketing, in digital marketing, and he's going to help us talk about how we can actually action the videos. So, you know, whatever your goal is to market, to monetize your videos, we're going to be speaking about that as well. So if you want to join that, it's all in the implementation group. So make sure you tell me that you want to join the implementation group in the comments. Type in yes, join implementation group, right? Yes, join implementation group. Okay, those of you in the implementation group, we're going to hop over to the Zoom now. All right, big hugs, big kisses. Mwah. See you tomorrow. Bye.